Hey everybody, good morning and happy Friday. I hope your day has been a great one so far here in the First Alert Weather Center. I'm First Alert meteorologist Chandler Jordan, and this morning, starting out on a cloudy note for us as we kick off our Friday. Cold out the door as well, but we have got some stronger wind gusts that are going to build in behind a frontal boundary moving through as we speak. And it's the next big thing we're tracking in the First Alert Weather Center. Sustained winds later today of 10 to 20 miles an hour at times. Gusts are going to range anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour. So keep in mind a windy day that we get out there once we hit the afternoon and evening. And your first alert to a lake wind advisory that was issued by our friends in the National Weather Service yesterday and into this morning. This particular lake wind advisory is for all of the Midlands. All the counties on your screen that you see in tan can experience wind gusts later today. Again, that'll range anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour. It will be windy once we get past lunchtime, but thankfully the cloud cover that you see out there this morning, it's going to start to get out of here once we get past lunchtime and into the afternoon. I think we get back to a mostly sunny sky later today, and this additional sunshine is what will help propel our high temperature into the mid and upper 50s. So that's what we're going to keep an eye out for. Of course, we're turning a lot colder once we get into this weekend, and one of the things ushering this change in is this frontal boundary passing through. You can see once we get past lunchtime and into the afternoon where our wind gusts are able to make it up to the 25 and 30 mile an hour mark. So all the more of a reason to have your layers handy. And even once temperatures warm up this afternoon, I still think a little bit of an extra chill in the air can't be ruled out because of this frontal passage that's occurring, as well as the wind that we'll have in place. Now, we're going to be dry today, even though we've got a cloudy sky this morning. By your Saturday, we're still dry. Rain chances will ramp up, though, towards the end of the weekend, and especially on Monday morning. I think that's going to be the best opportunity for a lot of us to pick up on some type of shower activity as our next cold front rolls through the Carolinas. So that's what we're going to keep an eye out for. Thankfully, most of this weekend will be dry. As far as rainfall totals are concerned, I think our better opportunity to pick up on moisture will give us a good quarter to a half inch of rain, depending upon where some of these downpours are able to set up at as this frontal passage occurs. Now, behind this next front that we get on Monday morning, we do have some indications of our air mass turning very cold once we get into the middle of next week. Our friends at the Climate Prediction Center are still favoring below average temperatures looking likely from January the 8th through January the 12th, which is the middle and end of next week. And this is all across the southeast as well as the mid-Atlantic states and into the eastern seaboard. And that means that technically 1 degree below our normal average for this time of the year, which is 56 degrees, would count as below average. However, when we have these likely indications in place, that normally means we're talking about temperatures 5 to 10 degrees below where they typically hang at this time of the year. Of course, you've also seen the circulation on social media, I'm sure, of the opportunity for snowfall within some of our pieces of computer data on January the 10th, which is next Friday. Our friends at the Climate Prediction Center still say there's a risk of snowfall for January the 10th, but it is a slight risk. That's for all the areas you see shaded in purple, and that means a 20% chance of snow in the forecast. That does not mean that it will happen. This is just something that our friends at the Climate Prediction Center are saying, hey, we've got to watch it as we head through this weekend and into next week. It's going to be a matter of getting our moisture to line up with our cold air below freezing. And if these two things can't come together at the same time, well, we are not going to get any type of snowfall. As a matter of fact, our long-range pieces of computer data are still in a good bit of disagreement. A stronger area of low pressure with the GFS, which is the American-based model, brings what would be more moisture into the Carolinas, shower activity in the low country, followed by the farther north you go, the colder it gets, which would mean a wintry mix if you look farther into places such as the Midlands or even towards North Carolina, while as our other pieces of long-range computer data, such as the European or Canadian-based models, these have a weaker area of low pressure, which in turn keeps the moisture farther south, and from there, keeping us dry at the end of next week. So for now, it's something that we'll simply watch and wait to see how things play out. We will not put a chance of snow in the forecast until we have more consistency and agreement within our computer-based models that we have this opportunity. So for now, things are looking mostly dry, especially considering a lot of our data doesn't have moisture around next Friday, and your next best chance of rain is going to be Monday morning. If you're back to work on Monday morning, keep in mind there could be a little bit of a shower or two out there for your commute, and then temperatures turn turning a lot colder once we head into the middle and end of next week. That's the one guarantee for you that I'll tell you, is that we will get a lot colder at the middle and end of next week. Mornings drop into the 20s. Highs will only make their way into the mid 40s, some of us in the low 40s. And then as far as the opportunity to pick up on some frozen precipitation, that's where we have a lot of uncertainty. Things will change as we head into next week, but for now, we don't have enough consistency and agreement within our long-range pieces of data to suggest that snow is possible here in the Carolinas at the end of next week. Of course, something we'll continue to monitor closely here in the First Alert Weather Center. For your latest First Alert forecast, you can always head over to our website, wistv.com. You can click on our First Alert Weather tab. As a matter of fact, we've got two articles for you. We've got one daily article that gives you more of your First Alert forecast for the next few days, and we're also keeping an eye out for the opportunity for, again, some snowfall out there late into next Friday. Right now, that's not in the forecast. That is not on our First Alert 10-day forecast, but if you want to read more about it, we've got an article in place as well, so you can do so at your convenience. Again, that'll all be over on our website, wistv.com. One thing for sure, we are getting colder by this weekend and into next week, so stay warm, bundle up if you're spending some time outside, and you're going to want to stay right there. We've got some other headlines to get you as we get into your Friday morning, and we'll start with what's new this morning coming up in just a few minutes.